While I was down there was something that happened. I don't even know what to call it. There was something that sounded like an earthquake, something that sounded like people got into a fight.
Well, some shocking new court documents filed Friday alleging that disgraced rapper and producer Sean Diddy Combs is breaking more rules from behind bars. He's now accused of attempting to influence potential.
You ever wonder what really goes on behind those velvet ropes at Hollywood's most exclusive parties? Buckle up, because this story is about to blow your mind. Allegations of sinister secrets, shocking betrayals, and A-list celebrities who thought their darkest moments would stay hidden until now. Ally Carter, the woman who claims to have seen it all, has just come forward with receipts that could bring the Hollywood elite to their knees.
My name is Ashton Kutcher. Child Protective Services was involved in my trafficking. I never thought that we would see the day where Diddy would get arrested. They're ducking and hiding because everybody knows that there was children there.
People build these tunnels. There's a lot of elite celebrities. They go down there for parties underneath the Getty.
Denzel Washington, Beyonce Knowles, Ellen DeGeneres. Do you want me to keep you going?
I don't want anybody's money.
Zell always told me we'll be at the parties. He said, you leave 30 minutes for the devil get there.
I'm telling you right now that something is really wrong. Really wrong. The world will find out soon.
And trust me, this tea is piping hot. Demi Moore? Ashton Kutcher? Yeah, we're talking names you know. But the truth lurking behind those glamorous facades will have you questioning everything. So who is Ally Carter, and why is everyone losing their minds over what she's saying? Because, y'all, this is not just another random influencer trying to chase clout. Ally's story dives into the darkest corners of Hollywood's elite social scene. We're talking alleged secret parties, disturbing power dynamics, and accusations so wild they're basically ripped straight out of a crime thriller. And the craziest part? If even a fraction of this is true, it could spell disaster for some of the biggest names in the entertainment industry, names like Ashton Kutcher, Demi Moore, and even Sean Diddy Combs. Let's take it back to where it all began. Ally says she was just an innocent teenager when she found herself swept into Hollywood's exclusive inner circle. Imagine this. You're young, wide-eyed, and invited to a party with A-list celebrities. Sounds like a dream, right? Except, according to Ally, what happened next was anything but glamorous. She describes these events as something straight out of a nightmare, a world where nothing is as it seems, and the most powerful people in the room are allegedly hiding secrets darker than we can imagine. Now,
my name is Ashton Kutcher. In 2020, I went viral. We lost our home, we lost our animals, we lost everything. Child Protective Services was involved in my trafficking. I never thought that we would see the day where Diddy would get arrested, and I told you guys in that Maria Z interview in 2021 that no one tells on Diddy. Just the same way nobody tells on Denzel Washington. People don't usually talk and stop and think about the children victims that are going through things right now as we speak, and the ones who suffered through all this bullshit.
If you think we're talking about typical Hollywood champagne and selfie kind of parties, think again. Ally claims these gatherings were VIP-only events where the guest list was carefully curated, not just based on fame or influence, but something far more calculated. According to her, these parties weren't just about networking or letting loose. There were hidden agendas, questionable activities, and an unsettling vibe that made it clear this was not a safe space. And here's where things take a seriously dark turn.
Touching the seriousness of trafficking yet, guys. Like, the videos that I've made, the videos that I've started to make, this is not even touching. This is the gist of it.
Ally alleges that these parties often involved underage attendees, brought in under shady circumstances. Not only that, but she specifically called out Ashton Kutcher and Demi Moore's alleged involvement, claiming they were far more than just innocent guests. According to Ally, what she saw left her speechless. Scenes of power, exploitation.
Diddy party stories, they're our favorite genre of anecdote, if you have one, yeah.
Wow, okay, I've got a lot I can't tell. So, can't tell that one either.
And a twisted game that preyed on the most vulnerable. But wait, it gets worse. Ally goes on to describe something she calls all-black events. And no, this wasn't just some trendy Hollywood dress code. According to her, these parties had a much darker focus. Young black children allegedly being brought in for the entertainment of the guests. Y'all, let that sink in. Ally paints a picture of these kids being deliberately chosen, many of them vulnerable, isolated, and unaware of what they were walking into. And the details? They're enough to make anyone's stomach turn. According to her, what went on behind closed doors at these events crossed lines most of us couldn't even begin to imagine. And it's not just the kids who were vulnerable. Allie claims these gatherings were like traps for anyone who stepped inside. The entire atmosphere, she says, was designed to keep people silent. The moment you walked through the door, it's like you agreed to the unspoken rules. Don't question, don't talk, and whatever you do, don't try to leave. So where do Demi Moore and Ashton Kutcher come in? Well, their names are now being thrown into this mess, and fans are shook. Demi Moore has always been known as Hollywood's wild child, someone who lived life on her own terms and never shied away from controversy. But Allie's claims are forcing people to take a closer look at Demi's past, and what they're finding is raising some major questions. Let's not forget that Demi's relationship with Ashton Kutcher...
We became fast friends, and we used to just hang out, watch football together. And he came over, and I was like, I'm going for a run. He was like, oh, I'll go for a run with you.
...was already super controversial back in the day. She was 16 years older than him, and their whirlwind romance sparked endless headlines. But now, with Allie's allegations resurfacing, people are starting to wonder, did Ashton inadvertently introduce Demi to an even darker side of Hollywood? And what exactly were they doing at these parties that Allie claims to have witnessed? And then there's Diddy, a name that keeps coming up over and over again when it comes to these alleged Hollywood scandals. Allie claims that Diddy was not only a major player in these events, but that he hosted parties where the unthinkable happened. Parties where the lines between power, control, and exploitation blurred into something horrifying. And according to Allie, Demi and Ashton weren't just innocent bystanders. She says they were fully involved in the scene, and what she saw could change everything we thought we knew about these two Hollywood stars. But here's where it gets really messy. Not long ago, one of Diddy's neighbors came forward with claims of their own, saying they often saw buses.
Tell them stop bringing all the minors over here late at night. I live right next to him. He do too much. He be like buses, like big ass buses. You can see all type of shit hop out. Especially at nighttime, like around 3 o'clock in the morning. It gets wild. I'm his neighbor. When my basketball go over there, I just let it be.
Yes, buses of young girls being brought to his house in the middle of the night. Y'all let that sink in for a minute. We're not talking about rumors anymore. These are multiple accounts that all seem to point to the same disturbing patterns and the same powerful people. It's chilling to think about, but Allie insists that none of this happened by accident. She claims these parties were meticulously planned down to the smallest detail. Everything, from who was invited to what happened behind closed doors, was allegedly orchestrated to exploit the vulnerable while protecting the powerful. And the scariest part? The people involved were confident they would never get caught. Imagine being a young, impressionable person who suddenly finds themselves surrounded by celebrities and power players. According to Allie, that's exactly what made these events so dangerous. The illusion of glamour was used as a trap. By the time you realized what was really going on, it was already too late.
Ashton Kutcher, you're up. Let me tell you the part that really chaps my ass about this. Bro, poor choice of words when Diddy's around. So look, here's the thing is I almost liked you, homie. You was up there in front of Congress speaking against human trafficking. You almost had me. But why is it that everyone that you're close friends with turns out to be a stone cold predator? Not just one, and it's not just an isolated incident. This is a pattern with you for decades.
But Allie's claims don't stop with Demi and Ashton. She insists there are even more high-profile names tied to these disturbing events. People you'd never expect. Think actors, musicians, and industry executives who are celebrated worldwide. According to Allie, these names were not just attendees, they were participants.
Yeah. You don't live in the world you think you do. And
allegedly playing key roles in maintaining the power structures that kept these parties hidden for so long. And here's the thing, Allie says it wasn't just about power. There was an entire system designed to silence anyone who dared to speak out, whether through manipulation, intimidation, or carefully placed threats. These systems ensured that the people at the top stayed untouchable, while the vulnerable were left to suffer in silence. The biggest bombshell? Allie claims there's hard evidence, videos, photos, and even testimonies that could finally blow the lid off these scandals. She says that if this evidence comes to light, it won't just ruin careers, it could bring down some of the most powerful figures in Hollywood. And y'all, we're talking names that have been untouchable for decades. So, Are we finally about to see justice served? Or will the Hollywood machine find a way to bury this story once again? One thing's for sure, the truth is starting to come out, and once it does, there's no turning back.
I'm trying to deal with it. I'm trying to deal with it a lot, because a lot of people don't understand when you say what's going on. It's not just jobs. It's not just
And Allie didn't stop there. She claims to have receipts to back up her story, evidence that could expose the truth about these parties once and for all. From footage to eyewitness accounts, Allie says the proof is out there, and when it comes to light, well, let's just say it could be game over for some of Hollywood's biggest players. So, what happens next? Will Demi Moore and Ashton Kutcher come forward to defend themselves? Or will Allie's allegations finally force the truth out into the open? Because if what Allie's saying is true, this could be one of the biggest scandals Hollywood has ever seen. And y'all, we're just getting started. Grab your popcorn because this story is about to take an even darker turn. But what do you think so far? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't go anywhere, because in the next section, we're diving deeper into Allie's receipts, Demi's shocking past, and why this scandal might be bigger than anyone ever imagined.